Howdy partners, it's your old buddy the Reddit writer. Welcome back to the Reddit Ranch. Come in and sit a spell and listen to the mighty fine tales I gotta tell. Today's first story is from a little lady who has an issue with getting her unemployed boyfriend to get up any earlier than 6 p.m. Well, maybe the little tenderfoot needed some extra beauty sleep after his whole day of doing nothing.
AITA for telling my boyfriend to get up earlier. I'm 37, and my partner is 35, and we are at an impasse. I work a full-time job in a very physically demanding environment, and my partner is unemployed for about 2 years now. Recently, he has been getting up extremely late in the day and going to sleep at around 4 a.m. after playing some video games from about 12. I've been on night shifts this month, so I've been unable to get certain errands done during the day as I'm asleep. I got upset yesterday after my partner was still asleep when I woke up for work at around 6 p.m. We had a major argument and he claimed that playing video games is his decompression time. I asked what's he decompressing from, and he didn't have an answer. I told him that I'm exhausted from work, and it would be nice if he could clean up a bit while I slept, since we live together, and he isn't currently working. He got defensive and told me that I live here too, and that I should be cleaning up more. I shot back that I'm paying the damn rent and all the bills to keep a roof over our heads, and the least he could do is empty the bins that are overflowing with his energy drink cans. He told me that he needs the energy drinks, and that I have no idea how tired he gets. We argued for a while before I told him that I want him up and out of bed before 12 every day and for him to tidy his own messes. He got quiet and called me condescending before going into the bedroom and turning on his Xbox. I followed him and asked him how I was being condescending, but he just ignored me. I'm sitting in the living room as I type this, and I'm honestly just so tired and want him to do something besides draw and play video games all day.
Well ma'am, maybe y'all should give the poor guy a break. I mean, all y'all do is go to work all week, while he, on the other hand, is busy fighting off alien hordes in Halo. Don't you understand how much that takes out of a guy? But seriously, you have every right to feel this way. He's taking advantage of you. People that go on and on about how there is no jobs out there are full of crap. I mean, fast food joints like McDonald's are always hiring. Next we have one from a young filly that feels bad because she shamed her alpha male of a boyfriend over his job. If a guy has to tell you he's an alpha, then he's not really an alpha.
AITA for shaming my alpha male boyfriend about his job. I'm 19, and around a year ago I moved to the US for university. In my first week there I met my now boyfriend. However, 6 months ago he dropped out to start a drop shipping business. He was a sociology major for context. I tried to persuade him to stay in school for a backup plan, but he explained to me that the drop shipping market is huge, and he'll make more money than he would if he got his degree. A while ago I got a job as a waitress at a very popular food chain. If I said the name, it's likely a lot of people would know it, and for context, my work is the first location in the chain. I won't lie, I make minimum wage, but decent with the tipping. My boyfriend's business actually makes decent money, around $3,000 to $4,000 per month. This sounds good, but he has a terrible attitude and thinks everyone still in school, has a job paying less than him or doesn't own their own business is inferior. He also considers himself an alpha male and continuously watches business lessons on YouTube Shorts. Yesterday, we got into a fight. It all started when I got home from work and was going to tell him about how we got a surprise visit from a worker at our restaurant and how we got along so well. The first thing he said was, "How old is she? What's her salary?" Ha! Must be $7.50 an hour. I told him that she was around my grandmother's age, and he started berating her for still working at her age and how she still doesn't have enough money to retire. I was getting really irritated at him and decided to tell him the rest of my story about her, and how she and her husband founded the chain. They're probably multimillionaires. They've earned more than you will probably ever make with your business. I definitely said more, but I can't remember what exactly. I think he started crying because he stopped talking and locked himself in the bathroom. The last thing he said to me was, "Can you actually stop shaming me? My job pays for our rent." I feel so horrible about what I said, but I just thought he needed to understand that making fun of people's jobs is terrible. I also understand that I do live with him, and his job definitely lets us live more comfortably than the average people our age.
Hold on a second, ma'am. Are you saying that this quote-unquote alpha male broke down into tears just because you pointed out that someone dared to make more than him? Aw, the poor buttercup. I'm a little surprised he didn't run off and tell his mama on you. Trust me, he needed to be taken down a peg or two. Job well done. Y'all definitely not the cow patty. Him on the other hand, well, sometimes calling someone a cow patty isn't an insult, it's just an accurate description. The next story involves a young lady that accepted a free drink from a guy, but then would not take off with him, and she thinks she may have been in the wrong.
AITA for letting a man buy me a drink and then making him leave? I'm 21, and last night I was at a fair in my town with 4 of my friends. While standing in line at a ride, I was approached by a man who I didn't even recognize at first because I haven't seen him in 3 years, but when he started talking to me, I realized he was Barry, whose best friend used to be a friend of mine, so we went to a few parties together as teenagers. He asked me whether I wanted to grab a quick beer with him and his friend, and I always liked him well enough back then, so I thought what's the harm and agreed. So, Barry, his friend, a female friend of mine, Nancy, and myself went to get a drink while our 3 other friends went to go on another ride. Barry told Nancy and me to look for seats while he and his buddy went to buy the drinks. When they came back, Nancy and I tried to give them the money for our drinks back, but they insisted on paying for them for us. We all drank our beer, smoked a cigarette, and made kind of awkward conversation for about 10 minutes. I could tell Nancy was feeling weird about this, and I felt awkward as well. Then they asked us whether we wanted to go with them and basically spend the rest of the evening together. I wasn't feeling it at all though, and neither was Nancy, so I told them thank you for the beer and it was nice meeting you guys, but our friends will be back soon, and we will be spending the night with the friend group. They didn't say anything, but we could tell they were really annoyed and bummed out. They left and our friends came back a few minutes after. When I told my mom about this morning, she said I was very mean for sending them off like that. They could have come along with our friend group, they were probably sad, and also, they bought us drinks, which was nice of them. I also feel kind of bad about it, since both of them seemed like nice people, but I just wanted to have one quick beer together, chat for a minute and go my way. AITA?
Well, ma'am, I don't think you're a cow patty. I mean, they were giving both you and Nancy a creepy vibe. That is a good enough reason not to pursue it. Besides, you already have made plans with your other friends. No telling how they would have felt about a couple of interlopers tagging along. Our last story is a stampede of calamities. Just read it, or listen, or whatever. Y'all will see what I mean.
AITA for blowing up at my mom after she said she won't attend my wedding because I didn't invite my sister. I'm 27, and I have a younger sister who I'll call Amy, who's 24. About 5 years ago, I caught her with my then boyfriend, who I'd been with since high school. Afterwards, Amy started crying and making excuses, and my ex tried saying it was just a mistake, they didn't actually do it, but were pretty damn close to it. We tried therapy, but broke up soon after. There was a whole long story. Me and Amy don't have that great of a relationship. I was basically no contact with her for a while, and then we got back into contact. I managed to recover from my heartbreak and found love again with my fiancé, and we're getting married soon. I haven't invited Amy for obvious reasons. She's been really upset and saying I'm pushing her away, but I said she can't expect me to play happy sisters with her, and at least I talked to her. The issue now is my mom is really mad. She's threatening to not come to the wedding if I don't invite Amy. We had a massive argument and she said I'm punishing Amy and my behavior is gross. I blew up at her and said she's clearly chosen her favorite daughter. This whole thing has blown up and I've got people telling me I'm an ass for snapping at my mom, and then it's her choice whether she wants to attend or not. also have some people saying I'm wrong for not inviting Amy. AITA?
Well, ma'am, I was all set to be on y'all's side, based on what you said here. But then I came to a comment you yourself posted. It seems like y'all left a lot of important information out.
I won't go too much into details, but apparently my ex had been sending Amy adult texts. That day she'd come over to visit me, and I had to go out for some ingredients quickly. My ex was at work but arrived in the time I was gone. Said he'd tried to kiss her. She said she'd told him to stop, or she'd call the police. He then apparently got mad, forced her to take her clothes off and pinned her down. They didn't go the whole way, but I walked in on her starting. There was a case and he ended up getting some jail time. Edit, this was a lot for me to go through as well, and I had to limit contact with Amy for doing this. During that time my mom also called me a whole lot of not so nice things. The disgrace to women comment is just the beginning.
Are you kidding me, ma'am? Your sister wasn't trying to steal y'all's man, she was attacked. And you needed to go no contact with her so you can process it? You're playing the victim, when all that happened to you is this sidewinder who attacked your sister cheated on you in the process, and you're acting like it was her fault. And then you said that you and he went to therapy together? Buttercup, he tried to essay your sister, and you thought, at least for the moment, that it could be saved. What is wrong with you? By the way, you are indeed a cow patty. Well, I plumb reckon that's all the time we got today, but if y'all like this here video then please, hit like and subscribe, it'll really make this old cowpoke smile. And if y'all got anything to say, then feel free to tell me what's on your mind down in the comments. Until y'all come back to the Reddit Ranch. Adios.